You've been in a conversation before where you felt like you lost, but you couldn't explain how. You walked away confused, doubting yourself, maybe even feeling guilty for something you didn't do. That wasn't an accident. Someone used a set of invisible tactics on you. Psychological weapons so subtle, most people never see them coming. Today, we're breaking down exactly what those weapons are, so you'll never be caught off guard again. In 1996, psychologist Dr. George K. Simon published a book called In Sheep's Clothing, and it quietly became one of the most important books on human behavior ever written. Chapter 9 is titled Recognizing the Tactics of Manipulation and Control. What Simon discovered is that manipulators aren't broken people acting out of fear. They're calculating people fighting to win. And once you understand how they fight, you become nearly impossible to manipulate. These are the 14 tactics you need to know. First, the most important reframe in this entire video. Simon makes this clear. When someone uses these tactics against you, they are not defending themselves. They are attacking you. We've been taught by psychology and pop culture to see difficult people as wounded, scared, or insecure deep down. And sometimes that's true. But covert aggressive personalities? They're not running from something. They're hunting for something. They want power, position, control. And the moment you start asking, what made them so hurt? You've already lost the battle. Your job is to see the move for what it is. Tactic 1, minimization. This is when they make a mountain look like a molehill. I barely even said anything. You're being too sensitive. It wasn't that serious. Their goal is to make you feel like your reaction is the problem, not their behavior. Watch for 2 words Simon flags: just and only. I just did this. It was only once. That language is a signal. Tactic 2, lying. This sounds obvious, but Simon is talking about something more sophisticated than outright lies. He means lying by omission, lying by deliberate vagueness, saying technically true things arranged to create a completely false picture. They don't tell you the full story. They craft what you hear so you form the impression they want. If someone is consistently vague when direct answers would be simple, that's not confusion, that's strategy. Tactic 3, denial. This is the who, me move. They flatly refuse to acknowledge something they clearly did. But here's what makes it dangerous. The denial isn't for them, it's for you. It's designed to make you second-guess your own eyes, to make you feel unjustified in confronting them. Simon puts it plainly. The manipulator isn't defending. They're fighting to remove your willingness to challenge them. Tactic 4, selective inattention. This is when they simply refuse to hear you. Not because they're distracted, because listening would be an act of submission, and they will not submit. Watch for people who are laser-focused when something benefits them, but suddenly can't follow a conversation when accountability is on the table. Tactic 5, rationalization. They always have a reason, a justification, an explanation for why what they did was actually fine, even noble. And here's the trap. The justification usually makes just enough sense to make you doubt yourself. I did it because I care about you. Anyone in my position would have done the same. If their explanation always arrives to protect their behavior, not to understand yours, it's rationalization. Tactic 6, diversion. Ever confronted someone and ended up talking about something completely unrelated 5 minutes later? And you don't know how you got there? That's diversion. They change the subject, dodge the issue, throw you a curve, and suddenly you're defending yourself for something that has nothing to do with what you originally raised. Ask direct questions, demand direct answers. If they keep shifting the subject, notice it. Tactic 7, evasion. Close cousin to diversion, but more subtle. They give long, rambling, vague answers to simple questions. They circle around the truth without ever landing on it. Simon gives a perfect example. A patient he asked about a past substance abuse diagnosis. The man gave a 4-sentence answer that sounded like an answer, and was actually a complete lie assembled from true facts. Vagueness is a weapon. Tactic 8. Covert intimidation. This is when they threaten, without appearing to threaten. Veiled comments, subtle implications, making sure you understand your position is weak without ever saying it outright. The goal is to keep you anxious, off balance, and submissive, while they maintain the look of innocence. Tactic 9. Guilt tripping. This is one of their most powerful tools, and it only works on good people. Simon writes, "All a manipulator has to do is suggest to a conscientious person that they don't care enough, are too selfish. And that person immediately starts to feel bad. Meanwhile, you could spend a lifetime trying to make a manipulator feel guilty and get nothing. The more conscience you have, the more effective this weapon is against you. Awareness is the only shield." Tactic 10. Shaming. This is subtle sarcasm, rhetorical put-downs, a glance, a tone. The goal is to make you feel inadequate, so you defer, so you back down, so they maintain the dominant position. Pay attention to people who consistently make you feel small when you challenge them. Tactic 11. Playing the victim. They flip the script. Suddenly they are the one being wronged, by you, by circumstance, by life. It works because caring people can't stand to see suffering. So the moment they believe someone is hurting, they stop holding that person accountable. Notice, does this person only suffer when consequences are approaching? Tactic 12. Vilifying the victim. They don't just play victim, they make you the aggressor. Now they're just defending themselves against your unfair treatment. This puts you on the defensive and masks their attack completely. Tactic 13. Playing the servant. They cloak their agenda in noble language. They're not pursuing power. They're sacrificing for the greater good. They're not controlling you. They're protecting you. Simon notes, loudly professing subservience while fighting for dominance is a hallmark of covert aggressive personalities. Tactic 14. Seduction. Not romantic seduction, though it can be. This is the strategic deployment of charm, flattery, and approval to lower your defenses. They give you what you need most: validation, attention, a sense of being valued, so that when they need something from you, you're already loyal. There's one more tactic Simon names, and it might be the most honest: brandishing anger. A deliberate, calculated emotional explosion, designed to shock you into submission. It's not that they're out of control. It's that rage, wielded with enough intensity, makes people back down. If someone's anger conveniently arrives whenever you get close to the truth, that's not an emotion. That's a weapon. The power move. Here's what Simon says you should do with this knowledge. Stop asking what's wrong with them. Start seeing what they're doing. The moment you recognize the tactic, name it in your mind. Covert intimidation, diversion, guilt trip. Naming it breaks the spell. Because manipulation only works in the dark. The moment you see it clearly, you stop being on the defensive. You stop over-explaining. You stop apologizing for things you didn't do. You stay grounded. You trust your gut. You respond from a position of clarity, not confusion. That is power. Close, the ancient laws of power have always said the same thing. Know your opponent, not to become them, not to use their weapons, but so you can never be moved by people who count on your blindness. Get the book, study it, and remember, The most protected people in the world aren't the ones who trust no one. They're the ones who see clearly. I'll see you in the next one.